What is up, you guys? Britt Siva here, and we have to talk this week about the unspoken changes that are happening within our industry in a post-pandemic reality. Now, I could explain it myself, but I'm actually going to turn to the words of Jess, one of my Thriver Society members, who shared this in the Facebook group last week, and the post blew up. So this is what she said. I've achieved my goals. I have a great clientele, great income, beautiful new salon suite with guests pouring in. Yet I find myself feeling that knot in my stomach when I respond to a new guest because I have nothing left to give. I look at my schedule and feel anxious with the thought of having to go back to work and give more of myself. When these last few months I have taken so much from me mentally and emotionally. I feel like I just want to quit. It's harder and harder to serve people. Even though they are wonderful, it's just too much for me to serve anymore. All of our cups are empty, and I can feel clients reaching out to me to fill theirs, and I just can't be that person any longer. I feel like I'm becoming an energy suck because I'm reaching out for them for the exact same thing. We took a mini family vacation, and it was heaven last week. I relaxed, played with my kids, put everything else out of my mind. Then the minute I reminded myself that I had to go back to work, dark clouds came back, and I wanted to cry at the thought of being behind my chair. With remote learning starting again for my 5 and 7-year-old, I just want to hide from the outside world and work with my kids so that they get all of me. I don't know what it is, but it's hard to shake. Who else can relate to these feelings? That feed blew up. Everybody could relate to her feelings. That is the unspoken reality of our industry, and I don't want it to be unspoken anymore. This is difficult because when our salons shut down, and for California, we are still shut down, and it is so frustrating because you're like, I just want to be back behind my chair. That's where I thrive. That's where I feel normal. That is my passion. So I share this because the reality is for a lot of stylists in our industry, you get back there and you're so excited, but you're not going back to the business that was. You're going back to the business that is now. Do you guys remember what I told you at the start of this pandemic back in April? I said the world we lived in 2019, 2018, 2017 does not exist anymore. You're not going back to your chair like it looked in January, February, March. That reality is gone, maybe forever. And we are all now adapting to this new reality of what it looks like as a stylist today. As stylists, we have always been the shoulder to cry on for our guests. It's so much more than a business transaction, right? We are in a relationship business. That has been taken to a new level. And there's a reason why for years I've been coaching stylists and salon owners to prioritize running a true business and not just a cut, color, make you feel beautiful place to be, but running it like a business because we have reached a breaking point. And we have to have the structure to allow our cups to fill. One of the things that Jess said, but everybody else on this feed echoed, is that she herself has nothing more to give. She herself needs to be refilled. So while she'd love to be the refiller for all of her clients, who's going to fill her up? And it's an impossibility to serve from an empty cup, which is exactly where she is. How many of you, after being home with your kids for weeks or months or whatever, how many of you working moms or dads feel like, man, that was hard, but now that I'm back in the salon, I kind of miss it. I'd like to be there for those things. That's normal. You got a taste of what we call life balance, which is something that in our industry we sacrificed forever, for the past 100 years. We just choose to give up nights, give up weekends, be there whenever our clients need us and say, well, that's just what the industry demands. No, it's not. That is unreasonable. And one of the best things about being a hairstylist is you don't have to do any of that. If you want to have a schedule where you just work Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 and you make $150K, you can do that. There's a lot of stylists who do that. If you just want to work Saturdays and Sundays because your partner's home and you want to be able to homeschool your kids Monday through Friday, do that. You'd make a killing doing it. There's no reason why you can't. The important thing to remember is right now, you need to make the best decision for you. And you need to make a good business decision. There was another comment that came up on this feed where a stylist said, I can totally relate. I'm over the fact that I leave my salon and there's still so much work left to do. How many of you feel that way, right? So you do all the hair, which is a full-time job, and then you're like, okay, and now I have to do the accounting and the social media, and I have to order all of my color and do all of these other things. And it's like you have 2 jobs, not 1. And what I loved is I didn't even have to say anything. One of my Thrivers alumni, Kimberly, popped in and said, I think this is a great observation. This Thriver had said, I wish I was working more of a 9 to 5 where I could just clock out at 5 o'clock and be done. And my Thrivers alumni, Kimberly, who's so brilliant, said, so why don't you do that? Why don't you choose to work a 9 to 5? Why don't you work office hours into your weekly schedule, not take clients for 40 hours a week? You'll earn more, work less, and find life balance. And to that response, I say correct. That is the right answer. The challenge is that a lot of stylists in our industry don't feel like they have the structure or the business know how to do it, or they feel like they'd be cheating their clients by putting themselves first. Can I be honest with you? You're cheating your clients by not putting yourself first. Because to what Jess said, she is now feeling like she's giving from empty, she has nothing left to give, and she's sacrificing her own happiness and self-worth to serve others. Jess, do you think you're showing up as your absolute best when you're in that place? Of course you're not. If I came to you with a magic wand and said, Jess, congratulations, you've earned a part-time schedule. You're now only going to take clients Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 to 4. You're going to make as much money as you made last year or more, and you're going to be able to put your kids first. Would you take it? Of course you would. So this is me handing you the magic wand and asking you to meet me halfway and telling you this is not a season of life where we feel like we have to give more than we can. You're only one person, and you just went through this huge life event that every other human on the planet went through. You are entitled to need your cup to be filled. So a few things I want you to do. Really think about why you got into this industry and how you want to be working. Really think about what is a reasonable amount for you so that you don't become resentful of this amazing career that we have. And then figure out how you're going to fill that cup. So one of the things I talk about when I'm feeling uninspired, which fully happens to me too, is we have to take a look at the balance of input versus output. So I'm outputting right now. When I come on and speak to you, I'm outputting. There's going to be a little energy drain that comes from that for me. So I have to find a way to refill that cup. Bring that energy back in. Sometimes I've taught too much, or I've re-recorded a course, or I've done something like that. I have to take a step back for a few days, and I have to read some books, or listen to some podcasts, or journal a little bit, or take some walks without earbuds in and just reconnect and let my mind kind of catch up to with what my body's feeling. So what I ask for all of you is that to remember that this is not a marathon. You have to find a way to take care of yourself first, your family, your friends, your loved ones second, and your job third. And you have to find a system so that all of those things can coexist, but so that your head and heart are still feeling fulfilled in all that you do. So I hope this has given you a little bit of permission to feel what you're feeling, to know that you're not alone, and to really prioritize what you want as a stylist and to make those dreams a reality. You guys, so much love. Happy business building. I'll see you on the next one.